gravity took over a little bit, so I was a little faster.
Oh, thank goodness you didn't tumble down.
Right.
Oh my God! All right, so let's talk a little NFL, guys, because there actually, believe it or not, there was football in the midst of all the baseball craziness over the weekend. And Barrett, good job on your game over the weekend. ECU against UCF, a lot of initials.
Nothing but initials.
A lot of initials, man.
Players got a lot of initials.
Yes.
A little sideline reporting, man.
A lot going. Yes, you another little wrinkle in the repertoire, man. Do a little sideline reporting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice job. All right, so let's. I want to get to. I'll get to Sunday night in a little bit, but let's start with the NFC East and what the teams did around the Eagles. Of course, the Eagles were off. We all know that they have Pittsburgh next week. That's why we'll get into that game in a minute. Guys, we need this, and I have to do this. This is me. I'm calling myself out. I got to stop with the, this Giants thing is a myth and a mirage. I got to stop.
See, I tried to tell you this.
I know you did, Derek. That's where I'm going. I'm going to give you props. You 100% said you guys better start realizing this thing's real in New York, and you're 100% right. They keep winning. Yesterday, they're 6-1, guys. And I look at the job Saquon's doing. He had 135 total yards, and he's going to get he's going to get comeback player of the year. There's no doubt about that. He's been unbelievable. I'm talking
about MVP.
Yeah, right. He should be in that discussion. He should be in that discussion because he's the guy they focus on every week. You're right.
Yes, exactly.
They beat the Jags yesterday, but here's what I will say. I am not a Daniel Jones guy by any stretch.
Me neither.
Okay, and I'm not about to tell you he's Patrick Mahomes, but what I will tell you is he's doing what it takes to win football games.
Exactly.
Yeah. And yesterday he runs for over 100 yards. He's not turning the ball over. He's efficient and he's playing very smart football. I give the guy, I'm giving it up. Credit to Daniel Jones, and Brian Dable is a beast. He's a beast of a coach.
I'm telling you, I watched what he did with Josh Allen last year, and that offense in general. It's very similar with less talent, but they're getting the necessary results. Now, obviously, Saquon is on the level of whoever they had in the backfield over in Buffalo, Devin Singletary. But across the board, you're talking about a patched-up Giants offensive line. The receiving core is a mess. You got no-name guys who are leading them in receiving.
Yep.
The quarterback has minimized his mistakes, and I've been watching him close, and I've been telling you guys every week, he's not turning the ball over like he did.
Yep.
They ran for 236 yards in Jacksonville's defense yesterday.
Yep.
And they make the play of the game, a storybook closing at the goal line. They stopped Christian Kirk 1 yard short of the goal line to seal that deal.
Gang tackling, bro.
Collins, one of them who,
yes,
we just back up 5 minutes ago, whatever it was,
he was out of the league.
Yes,
he was a giant. He was a giant. What, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yep.
And they bring him back out of necessity.
Yeah.
But the only thing is that I think they lost Neal for the rest of the season.
Yeah, their offensive. That's a big one.
That's huge right there, because I thought the two tackles were good enough that that you could kind of focus on the interior guys, the slider protection of those guys. But I thought Thomas and Neal were their only saving grace. Those guys could hold up on the edges, which allowed the interior. You could help more in the interior, call protections that focused on the guys in the interior.
Yeah.
With one of them being gone now,
that's a big loss.
That's a huge loss. Now you got to call the offense way different than you did.
We're going to see, and I don't put anything past Dabo. We're going to see. Barry, you were right. That's a huge loss. Now the kid was a rookie, but man, he has played like a veteran.
Yes, he has.
To this point.
Yep.
Now he's a rare rookie that, especially along the offensive line, you go through growing pains. He's that rare offensive lineman to step right into this particular system. Don't know if it would have worked in another system, but in this system, he was perfect for what they needed. It is a huge loss for this team, no question about it. But I'm going to watch this team even closer now because I didn't see the play, but their tight end Daniel Bellinger had to lead the game. He had a bleeding eye.
Yeah. And he came, and now I think he was back in the locker room afterwards and okay, but apparently by all accounts, it's nasty looking.
He said it was nasty, yeah. He said he got hooked in the eye or something like that.
He was bleeding and it was blown up. Like it was, it was like Rocky after, Rocky won. But
what's his name? Who's that?
Daniel Bellinger, tight end.
I think he's 82, number 82.
Yeah. So that's why I say watch this team closely.
Yep.
Because like everybody else, they're going to lose somebody else. And if it keeps going, I'm not saying they're Super Bowl material, but this is very similar to what the Eagles went through. With the Eagles had a much better quarterback and obviously a backup. But this is very similar. They keep losing frontline guys, and they pick up these. I mean, you're like, who's this?
Yeah.
Where the heck did they get in from? And they're making plays.
Yep. That's
between
coaching.
him and Wink Martindale.
Yeah.
They're putting these people in position to succeed.
Yep.
Bro, and the two guys that they want to focus on the most being their guys, man, Kenny Galladay and
Kadarius Toney are nothing. They're nothing.
Nothing. No.
No, it's unbelievable. And here's the thing. You know what's crazy? The game they have this week is it's at Seattle. Which is 425. Who would have thought that's a phenomenal game?
Yes, that'll be a great game.
That was a total sleeper. Who cares? Before the season started.
Did you guys remember that I did pick Seattle again to win this week?
You did, Derek.
Now I will say this: if the Giants hold Seattle to under 22 points, I don't care what the Giants look like on paper from this point on. The Giants are legit because as mediocre as we thought Seattle was, and they lost DK Metcalf indefinitely with a pec injury or something like that.
No.
Patella.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as they thought.
Right.
Yeah, Pete Carroll said today he doesn't need surgery. They don't know what the timetable is, but they dodged a major bullet.
Well, he could be out a couple of weeks still.
Yeah, but just
a
great
huge game coming up
what it could have been
against the Giants. But if they hold that offense to 22, 23 points, Giants are legit. I don't care what anybody says.
100%.
They may not be the flashiest team. They may not be the most star-studded team, but they're a complete unit that find a way to get things done.
But see, I'm telling you, man, they pay defensive coordinators millions of dollars to get these new wave things, and it kind of the same thing with Chip Kelly. He came out with that new stuff and
offense.
He ran with it for a while. Well, eventually they're going to take over and they're going to understand how to defend it. And once they figure that, it's going to be tough. I still think that those smoke and mirrors, sometimes the glass will break, especially towards the end of the season when you really need it. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
But when it's smoke and mirrors that you're dealing with an offensive line, offensive running back like that, who, all things being equal, if he had a healthy offensive line, we're talking about a team that could be a dominant team.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're going to be, from this point on, it's going to be tough for them with them, especially losing Neal like that.
Yep.
And but their defense, man, bro, is crazy, man. It's crazy how good their defense is, and it's just a bunch of guys.
And they're going to get better because Thibodeau's still figuring out how to play in the NFL.
Exactly.
And once he really, it'll click with him. He's a beast.
Name a legit. Anytime you talk about better defenses in the league, there's always one or two star names on those teams.
Yep.
Name a star name on that defense.
Exactly. Well, you still got Azeez Ojulari. He's hurt right now. He's out right now.
There you go. He's hurt.
Huge. Yeah, he's out.
I love their D line.
When he comes back, he's been good. Of course, look at their D line. They got 2 first rounders in there.
Yep.
You got Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams.
Leonard Williams.
Yeah. Leonard Williams came. He wasn't he
a Jet?
A Jet. He was a Jet.
Yeah, he's the first rounder for the Jets. I think he came out of USC.
USC. Yes,
bro. I'm telling you. And Dexter Lawrence, he's finally starting to understand how to play. And they made some stupid mistakes towards the end of the game. They might have lost. They might could have, lost the game because of it. But they were to fight. They were to fight back. And I tell you what, man, their secondary is playing tough, man.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got Landon Collins off the scrap heat to come in there and play for you.
Absolutely. All right. So Cowboys. Dak comes back. Now, Dak's numbers aren't going to, blow you away, but he played very efficiently. 19 of 25, 207 yards, didn't turn it over, had a touchdown, 113. They ran it pretty well. But the thing is, too, took it away 5 times. From Detroit. And by the way, all the Detroit hype,
gone.
It's the same old Detroit. But anyway, so the Cowboys get a bounce back after the loss last week to the Eagles.
And, of course, Dallas generated 5 more, not only 5 more turnovers, they got 5 more QB sacks.
Yes.
As well. That defense, man, you talk about speed, that defense. But you know what? Detroit handed them the game on a silver platter. Detroit had a chance to go neck and neck with them down the stretch. And all of a sudden, they just handed the game on a silver platter.
They fell apart, man. They fell apart, man.
Exactly.
Detroit's defense is real, man. They just don't have a lot of talent, but the talent that they do, I like how you guys were screaming over that rookie linebacker. I knew eventually, that size and everything, he would fall apart.
Rodrigo.
Yeah, Rodrigo. I knew he would fall apart, but
Wait. You bought the hype too after that first game. Come on now. You were in there with us. Man,
no, I said no. Against us, he played really well.
Great. Yeah, you did.
He played really well, but eventually, you get figured out, man. I'll keep telling people, defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators get paid so much, man, to stop these Rudy Poot type of I mean,
I haven't heard that word in decades.
Yeah, man. These are defenses and offenses that are like gadgety. You can't do that. You can't sustain that, man. You got to get back to basics. You got to go back to doing fundamental stuff in order to win, man. And right now, even the Giants, their Rudy Pootiness, man, it's gonna take a toll on them because you cannot continue to run Wildcat. People don't do that. That's why it works against. You only have a small amount of time to maximize how many, what plays you play against. Because what you play against 1 week will be obsolete the next week. And when you go against the Giants, you only have a little bit of time to try to prepare for all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's only a couple of days to prepare for it. Eventually, teams are going to see, oh, this is how you stop that. And they're not going to have to, formulate a game plan. They already have a game plan. So they see somebody else stop it. And once one person stops it, the next team will stop it. The next team will stop it. And it'll go on accordingly. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have to play fundamentally sound football.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In order to win in the NFL. And, that's why the Eagles are having success because they play fundamental football as opposed to playing gadget football. It's hard to win and keep winning with gadget type of plays and running Wildcat and all those things and having a guy like Daniel Jones. Eventually, it's going to, there's only so much, magic pixie dust that Dable has in his pocket.
Okay. I mean, look, time will tell that for sure when it comes to the Giants.
Yep.
So the Cowboys get back on track. Commanders, another one I didn't see coming here. Taylor Heineke takes over for Carson Wentz, who had the finger surgery. Packers, Derek. Packers, man.
I'm not surprised. The three things they couldn't do yesterday. Couldn't run the ball. I was watching highlights last night. I'm thinking, what is Aaron Rodgers thinking? They were showing the highlights. On 3 different occasions, he went to the check down route. And of course, Washington is banking on him going to it because they obviously studied the defense. 3 separate occasions. If he had a pump fake one time, he's got dudes wide open down the field, no DB within 10-yard radius. Aaron Rodgers didn't miss that in the past.
Yep.
Somebody up in the booth didn't do their job because Washington was biting on the check down every time and kept Green Bay in check. Because Green Bay could have blown that game wide open. Three plays could have blown that game wide open for Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers missed all 3 of them. You got guys running like this. Throw me the ball.
Yeah, I know.
And I think the analyst said he's not trusting his receiver.
But that's on him. You
that
can
is
only
on him.
blame
Yes,
the kids so many. Like their job is to get open. You throw them the ball. They drop it, then it's on them.
You know what it is? A-Rod hadn't been the same since he started messing with that wacky tobacco. That's what
ayahuasca.
He ain't been the same. He out there messing with that Amazon peyote, and it messed him up. I'm telling you, man.
Pineapple Express won't do everybody right, man. You know what I mean?
Well, you're right, man. Because look at Aaron Jones. He had 9 receptions, bro.
Yeah.
9.
What does that tell you? He doesn't trust the receivers.
Yep. 9 receptions.
But I also just think that I get the same vibe off of Brady. Like I think both of them are sort of half checked out.
Oh, no question about that. I mean, Brady's so far checked out and gone, man.
Yeah, Brady's like, when is this over, man? How many
right.
How many
games I got left?
I got 10 more. Like, let's go.
Yeah, but you know what though? Mike Evans did something I have not seen Mike Evans do. Wide open, streaking down the middle of the field, dropped a touchdown.
As bad as you'll see. That's as bad as you'll see from any receiver. Like he's 25 yards open.
At least, Rob. Nobody's in the same zip code as him. He dropped it. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, something's up, man. Like it's like contagious. I don't know.
Once his starting center went, once he was out, he doesn't feel comfortable, man. He doesn't feel comfortable. And even the defense is not playing well, bro.
No.
I thought the defense would be their saving grace. They're not even playing well.
Yeah,
they checked out.
Tom probably saying, Tom thinking, man, how can I keep Giselle from getting this yacht I just bought, man? I got to think about that for a minute. Oh, wait, I got to play? Okay, on 2.
I think it's more so, how can I get some of Giselle's money? how many companies can I take over for her?
Yeah.
All right, I can at least get 100 million out of them. Maybe she'll pay. I want her to pay me alimony also.
Oh my God. All right. So NFC East wise, everybody wins. Okay.
Yep.
Eagles off, but the Steelers, who the Eagles will play this week, it's a 1:00 game at home this Sunday. And that also lines up perfectly, by the way. The Phillies play Friday, Saturday, off Sunday. That's the travel day from Houston. So it sets up very nicely. As did yesterday's game, by the way, a 2:37 start with the Eagles on a bye week. I mean, you can't write this stuff better. But anyway, the Steelers lose to the Dolphins last night. They're now 2-5, guys. So Pickett has 3 picks. Miami came out of the shoot. I thought they were going to run him out of the building because they were doing the quick hit stuff too. It was pop, 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 pop down the field.
Yeah.
And then as the game went on, I mean, Pittsburgh easily could have had 3-4 interceptions in the game, which they didn't come up with, including guys like really good defensive backs who have got to catch those balls.
Yeah,
they can be game changers. Miami kind of stalled a little bit, but nonetheless got the win. And Pittsburgh is just not a good football team.
Well, here's the thing: when you look at Pickett, and obviously you go through, every quarterback goes through his growing pains. He only has 2 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, but he's only been sacked 6 times. So his offensive line, which we said that is mediocre at best, is doing a decent job protecting him. He's just got to read better. Like the last pick he threw at the goal line where they were driving for the potential game-winning score. I don't know if that was on him or the receiver, but all of a sudden you see the receiver right there at the goal line with the DB. The receiver broke behind the DB. He should have lobbed it over the top.
Yes.
The DB made a great body adjustment to get both feet in bounds to pick that off and seal the deal. But those are little things he's going to learn, and his teammates as they get to know him better. Those little nuances, because I thought the Steelers were going to drive to win the game because, as you know, when you get to that point, these defenses start going into all this prevent mess and allow teams to go down the field and put themselves in harm's way. I thought, you know what, Pittsburgh going to pull this game out 17-16.
Yep.
Lo and behold, the defining play of the game is made right there at the goal line.
You're gonna have those. Kenny Pickett's going to have games like that the entire season. The entire season. Sure. And that's just what comes with a young quarterback, probably overdrafted.
Yep.
But he was the best thing in this quarterback class, so that's why he's starting right now, because they just want to get him some reps.
Yeah.
And because they're just trying to get him some reps, to them this season, man, it's just about him getting comfortable and get acclimated to playing in the NFL. That's the basis of what they're doing right now. For Kenny Pickett, they just want him, and they probably chalk it up for an L.
Yeah, you're taking your lumps. You know it.
Yeah,
you're going to take your lumps.
I mean, anytime you got Najee Harris, 17 carries for 65 yards.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Barrett, their offensive line is not good enough. And I know he's not getting sacked a lot, but they're not good enough.
I think Pick is going to be a good quarterback, but it's going to take this year is his learning curve.
Yep.
He's going to take his lumps this year. I think he's going to be better. If they can keep those, I don't think it's going to happen because you got the receivers, between Deontay and Claypool, you got 2 guys grumbling about not getting the ball. Yeah, but he's going to be there. He's a rookie. But I'm saying the other 2 are grumbling because they don't get the ball enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So one of those 2 are probably not going to be back. They may draft a receiver. They may get a free agent next year.
They're pretty good at that, though.
Yeah. Pittsburgh's really good at 2 things: finding receivers and linebackers. I give them credit. They always have been. I was there for 10 years, and it amazed me. And I'm telling you, I've covered this game over four decades, and they have one of the best linebacking cores I ever had a chance to cover. When they had Greg Lewis, Greg Lloyd. They brought Kevin Green in.
Yep.
They had LaVon Kirkland and Chad Brown.
Yep.
And Chad Brown used to scare his players to death because he had his own exotic reptile business, and he was always bringing some kind of reptile to the locker room. I was like, jeez.
No, thank you.
Yeah, he had that in college, man. He had a room. He had an entire room full of, this reptiles. When I played, man, Chad was like that. Chad has always been that way, bro.
They'll find those linebackers.
Let me give you this. This is a pretty good, interesting stat you guys might appreciate. This is from Lindsey Rhodes of the NFL Roadshow podcast.
I thought you were going to talk about the singer Lindsey Rhodes.
I don't know her. Lindsey Rhodes?
That's old stuff.
Okay. The NFC South. Okay, so let me give you the standings here in the NFC South. So you have nobody's above 500. Packers are 3-4. Atlanta's 3-4. Carolina's 2-5. New Orleans is 2-5. It's a terrible division, right, as of right now. And I don't see a lot changing, by the way. But the point differential this season, not one team is a plus, is a net positive. Tampa's at 0. They're even. Atlanta's -8. Carolina's -25. New Orleans is -25. That is some bad football. That is some really
horrible
bad
football.
Man.
And can you imagine how he's going to have a top 10 pick?
Yes. Yeah.
Top 10
he snookered them, man. He took New Orleans lunch money.
Yeah, he
with
did.
That one.
Yeah, he did.
Just what else is new?
Yeah, he did. That's crazy.
Man, it's nothing. And you got that. You got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who's playing excellent for you on top of that.
Yep.
I mean, it's really amazing what he's been able to do. So
when do you think teams start thinking about, all right, man, let's just go ahead and just give it up, and because we need this first round pick.
Well, Barrett, you got in terms of tanking.
Carolina's already doing it, and yet they turn out and win.
I know.
Yeah.
Carolina said to you, I still think Brian Burns gets moved, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't do it if I was Carolina. I'd probably hold on to him, but nonetheless, they're doing it. I mean, we're 8 days away from the trade deadline, so I think teams will tip their hand by who gets traded too. But if you're asking me who goes into tank mode, the Steelers should. They're too prideful; they won't.
I think Seattle will have one of those receivers will be gone.
You think Seattle's going to?
You think Seattle is going to give up one of those? I don't.
They're
think
in first place, Barrett.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Watch what I tell you.
Okay,
they're in first. Right. They're in first place for what? They still don't have a quarterback. They need a quarterback. How do they get a quarterback?
Yeah, well, you got to get really bad to get a quarterback. I don't know if they're going to be able to get bad enough, though.
If they win that division, they won't be bad enough to move up.
Well,
exactly. Well, they won't win a division because even though the 49ers just lost, but they lost to the Chiefs.
Barry, when was the last time you saw a team that had the worst defense in the league and they're 4-3? Right. I can't remember the last time I've seen that.
But that's the problem. Like if your division, like if the Rams and the Niners were playing the way we thought they could have played or should be playing, then maybe you could justify it. But I don't know. It feels like if these teams don't get their act together, Seattle's going to be in it till the end of the year.
Exactly.
And the teams that should be tanking, easy. Texans, believe it or not, Broncos. Now, I'm not telling you all these teams will, but they should. Detroit, Chicago, Carolina, New Orleans, but they're not helping themselves tanking, I guess, right? Or unless do they have two first rounders?
Is there a one-win team? Who's the one-win team in the league?
Yes, Houston.
It's Houston.
Detroit also.
In Detroit, Houston's 1-4-1. Detroit's 1-5.
Wow, that's What are the Raiders right now?
Raiders won yesterday, so they have 2. They have 2 now. Yeah,
wow.
Raiders are 2-4.
The worst prediction ever.
Well,
ever
in modern betting.
Barrett, when you look at the way the NFL has unfolded through 7 weeks, there ain't a lot of people out there that can say they predicted this would happen through 7 weeks. You look across the board, the AFC and the NFC, there's no way possible anybody on this planet could have predicted how this league was going to unfold this year.
In fact, we all swing and miss, man. You know what I mean?
Definitely not with the Raiders and the Broncos. We thought that division.
Well, I here's what I'll tell you about Denver. So they've scored 16 points. 16 points, 11 points. You exclude the one game they scored 23, but they still lost. They scored 9 points, 16 points, 9 points. They are historically bad offensively. I'm telling you guys.
And who's their head coach?
And they're covering
Hackett. It ain't going to last the whole year.
You keep saying you give them till next week, huh?
Well, you can say
that fire Russell Wilson. And
you can say the same thing about Dan Campbell in Detroit. He has won 11-1 in road games in his tenure with Detroit.
Wow.
I'm sorry, 0-11-1. 0-11-1. It's never won a road game. All that rah stuff is only going to go so far.
Yeah. Hard Knocks only carried him so far. That's for sure.
All
right, so when we come back, we keep it rolling with the NFL stuff. We're going to get into surprises, disappointments, kind of like we did here. We'll dig a little bit deeper into some of the other games. We had the huge Chiefs game against the 49ers. Chiefs took care of business. I think Joe Burrow and the offense have kind of figured it back out in Cincinnati. They went crazy yesterday, so we'll get into that. Some of the receiving numbers are insane in that game for Cincy. So we'll talk about that. A lot more to go with the NFL, that's for sure. 2:00, Greg Murphy's going to be joining us. We'll talk some Sixers and Flyers and Union to close out the show as well. So you don't want to go anywhere. Barrett Brooks, Derek Gunn, Rob Ellis, Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Let's talk about Flynn Tree Services. Flynn Tree Services is an experienced, licensed, and insured Pennsylvania tree services company that will trim or remove any unwanted trees off of your property. They offer cost-effective solutions to any tree problem that you may face. So here's the question. Do you have any types of tree issues in your yard or on your property? If you do, they're just a quick phone call away. They are experts at trimming all types of trees and serve southeastern Pennsylvania, South Jersey, and northern Delaware. Flynn Tree Services specializes in tree removal, stump grinding, and tree pruning. Now, keep in mind, we're in that sketchy time of year with weather, right? You get some heavy storms, some rain, some wind. Now's a great time to have your trees evaluated. You just make sure some of those branches aren't going to be coming down on wires, on your house, on your neighbor's house, etc. Go to their Facebook or Instagram page for more information or a sampling of their work. Give Flynn Tree Services a call at 610-850-2848, 610-850-2848, or online at flynntreeservices.com. That's flynntreeservices.com.